Don't need a king.
We found the courage to talk. Have you?
Standing next to me, ready to fight. I appreciate the notion, but don't get so emotional. Honestly, it's getting old.
Wow, hello
Hi.
to
Welcome.
Courage to Talk.
Welcome.
You've been on a delay without delay.
Oh, Speedy Gonzalez is ahead of me. So
There
anyway.
you go. Quote me.
Okay, here we go. You know, you do that when you dial back. Got those fast fingers. Okay, so I like this one here. The quote that says, "I found a new drug."
And I'm constantly on it.
Q for C, safety, kindness, and prosperity. And I get high on my own supply. What is all this about? Tell me.
Well, when before I decided to open the foundation, as you know, I started saving people myself.
Okay.
And I was boots on the ground. I was it all. I was the counselor, I was the boots on the ground, I was the sister,
Investigator.
brother, mother, investigator, everything. And it gave me some kind of high. And what I realized was when you save people's lives, when you are able to change a person's life, and then see the result, it gives you some kind of high that no drug can compare with. It is a high. Mm-hmm. And when I realized more and more, and I want more, and then the foundation opened, and we started progressing and growing, and all the programs are starting to come together, and I see this dream of mine coming together, and so many people involved, I mean, high caliber people. And it just put in numbers into my head, and the numbers were Q for C, double digit, triple digits, quadruple digit. And I'm thinking, my God, if I could save one person a week, we can save hundreds, then thousands, then millions of people. We can change that many lives. And it's a high you don't want to get off. It's a high that is undescribable, priceless, Linda.
I can hear it now. I can feel the energy that you exude. You know, so kudos. I get this one. I'm high too. Excited.
Well,
I'm excited about Q for C. I am.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before we became friends, before you really got into Q for C, hands on, feet on, boots on the ground, and all that, from your perspective, and you've talked to some of the victims, how do you feel? Is that something only I get?
Well, no, I get it from you. The energy is like exuberant and it's overwhelming, and it reflects back to me. But before I came into all of what Queen of Courage was doing, you know, I was a retired cop selling product and doing my own thing. And so what really helped me to understand was that when I walked that walk with you, that engagement of actually taking those steps and going to Lincoln Road and seeing the place where you were when you were on top of the roof there, and just knowing your journey, I just saw it differently then. Whereas as an officer, I would help limit, you know, and help to make sure that they were safe, you know, part of your safety, you know, but I was making sure they were safe. As a cop, I didn't do anything else.
Right.
You know, but you've taken it to a whole nother level. You know, boots on the ground, you showed me where you rescued this young lady. I've talked to the victims, and I'm seeing a whole new side of the victim crime.
Yeah.
A whole new side. So I get excited too when I was helping to help save them, so they wouldn't be hurt or injured or even death caused to them. I felt that I was doing a good job. But this,
it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. That's I can't say there's one word other than priceless that explains it.
yeah. So
It's
that's my
exhilarating
personal feeling on the matter, and I get high too, especially when I know that we're helping these women and men get to a higher level.
Especially the ones with kids.
Get to a higher level. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Linda, because the triggers, as you just mentioned, it's always related, no matter who you talk to, woman, man, or child. It's always the triggers from that first emotional trauma that they've experienced. And they get almost paralyzed in the situation they're in at that moment that is more than they can handle, and unable to take that next step. That's what we're going to be doing for them. That's what we're going to be helping them do. We are a world of a lot of power. We are a world of a lot of people. Once we, as a world, as the neighbors of each other, start focusing in, and I love what this meant when it was said, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Don't ask what people can do for you. Ask what you can do for people. Ask what you can do for humanity. How can you donate yourself to something human? Because the rewards of giving are much greater than the rewards of receiving. Because ultimately, the giver is on the other end after, even if it's not from the other person. God gives us blessings for everything good that we do. Never underestimate him or his sense of humor, as I say.
But you know the grace that he gives us to do and the blessings that we do. So I find myself, like you're saying, how can I help? So back to you, how can you help achieve the goals for Queen for Courage?
We all have to get together, and Queen for Courage Resorts, Queen for Courage Spa and Resorts are not just for victims. They're a haven for victims. They're an opportunity for victims because it's a resort spa for victims to rejuvenate themselves, rebuild their lives with all the opportunities and all the resources they need to do that. But the key factor there is you, the ones watching. Now, why is it you ask? It's you because the spa and resorts are going to have something for any one of you and your families. Whether it's to come to the resort to relax, whether it's a family vacation, whether it's just to see a show or a concert or gamble, or our senior living resorts, where you are senior and you can retire in one of our resorts and have all the amenities that you need, just like a luxury resort, but living in it. Imagine living on vacation. But where the key is, you become the donor of giving these people that need those opportunities the resources to take care of you, to educate themselves, to work, to create products for the resorts, to take care of the amenities, bring opportunity for those people that never ever had opportunities before. With that said, even come for group meetings and resorts. There is so much. So how can you help? Get involved. We're right now going to have fundraisers and everything for the first resorts. It's an incredible mission, and I call it a mission because this is so much more important than what we do on a daily basis, which is just like Roto-Rooter. Convey information, roto-rooting it, but at the end, it doesn't help anyone.
Don't forget about our brick program. You can donate.
Absolutely.
You know, we are taking donations for bricks. We're still doing that as well. For those who have been abused, that's a way to actually challenge that energy or channel that energy into something that you create with the brick. Make a difference.
And uniting in these things. actually enjoying and uniting in these things, building this platform with us for victims, survivors, and regular people off the street. What makes a difference here is, while everybody that's concentrating on anything or everything that doesn't matter, you're actually building a world that's so far from what we see now. A safe place to be, a happy place to be, and kind one.
Yeah, because it does matter.
And
it
at
does.
the end of the day, it's also prosperous for everyone involved.
Safety, kindness, prosperity.
Because we are in a world that is very scary right now, seeing all of this that's going on a daily basis. It seems like every day you turn on the TV, either you're hearing about a shooting or something that happened yesterday, or there's a new one already. It's mind-blowing how many people, very ill people, ill-minded people in our world we have today. Let's give people something honest, healthy, caring to do besides that. What really sets fireworks off in me, Linda, as you know, is the Arctic frost investigation. And the Arctic frost investigation is something that was found to be a real thing that came up, especially after the Charlie Kirk execution, where we find out there's a certain number of people, and they put together a target list that they called the Arctic frost. And we'll tell you all about abuse. It's something everyone should know. That's something your tax dollars go to, instead of helping something positive. So Linda, let's watch this and then we'll talk about it, because we want people to understand what this is and what their tax dollars have been paying for.
Okay.
All the way from 2020, as I understand.
Yeah, 2020, Operation Arctic
What
Frost.
they like to do is say, we're in charge and we can weaponize federal agencies to achieve our goal.
So it's interesting, and that's what your assessment there is really interesting, because FBI agent Tim Tebow started Arctic Frost. He's been accused of being anti-Trump, and he was looking into the 2020 case, again used as the foundation for Jack Smith's case. But Tebow is accused of later stretching and expanding the case without proper predication, possibly violating FBI protocols. He later left the FBI after he posted anti-Trump content in social media. So can you please put that all together for us?
Well, what you have is an individual agent who is there. Within the agency, they are trying to please the higher-ups, if you will, and are looking for ways that they can use federal resources in order to target a political opponent. So they go about setting up Arctic Frost. They go about trying to pull information from different groups, build that web of relationships, associations, affiliations. Now, that goes fine for them, they think, until such time as they are no longer in charge, or when Congress starts to ask questions about what has happened with some of this activity. And at that point, you see these people start to try to hide in the high grass, and they are trying to run for cover, and they're trying to get out of there before they get blamed, because they don't want their reputations ruined. But as long as they have leadership that thinks it's a good thing to weaponize a federal agency, Liz, they're going to do that. And that is what you saw in the Biden administration, and that is what you have seen some of these individuals who have been dismissed or either have resigned to actually try to do.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you so much for helping us out with that story.
You got it.
It's great to see you again, Senator.
If you're a homeowner.
So I'm going to say this again. What is the Arctic Frost investigation? Operation Arctic Frost was the name of the FBI investigation launched in April 2022. into an alleged effort to submit fraudulent certificates of electors after the 2020 presidential election. Before, I believe that was called conspiracy theories. Now we find out, just like we said, there's no smoke without fire. It's not conspiracies. According to the documents released by Republican senators to probe, swept up numerous individuals and Republican affiliated organizations, in addition to its initial focus on President Donald Trump. Just think about this. Information about Operation Arctic Frost was made public in 2025. Everything that we've been asking this administration to do, they're doing. It's public. All this information, and this is why we're bringing it to you. This is public information that you can verify yourself, made available to the public, so that it's not marked conspiracy theories. This was made public in 2025 by Senator Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson, who released internal FBI records obtained from legally protected whistleblowers. Legally, legit. Now, one of the scariest things for me in this is actually, hold on, I underlined it here. In a major revelation, Senator Chuck Grassley detailed Operation Arctic Frost, an FBI investigation that targeted, ready, 92 conservatives and conservative organizations by 2025, which started at approximately a dozen, from a dozen to 92. And I want to say, Linda, I don't want to point fingers because a lot of them point to myself, even though I can't accuse myself for doing nothing because I have been fighting.
The timing is something else.
It's divine time.
Yeah, the timing's good.
So what has happened during these years, from 2020 to 2025, we finally got an administration that did what we asked them for. Just release information so the public knows. And they released the information so the public knows. And funny enough, Linda, how many people do we talk to? Don't know anything about it. So here we are to bring it to you, to enlighten you, to bring you information you should know. When you do not work with positive things, when you do not use your dollars for positive things, when you do not fight for your taxes going to the right things, this is part of what they're used for, to target innocent people, to lose their lives over their beliefs. This is the government. This is what they did to us for 2 past administrations at least.
Well, you know, listening to Marsha,
Is use federal resources to target American people, which means they're using your dollars against you.
Yeah.
Weaponize the federal agencies against public, against people. Instead of helping us make sure that the federal agents that we have take care of what they need to
Or
be
their
taken
jobs.
care of.
Yeah,
or
their
the-
jobs.
they actually weaponize them to go after people.
You know, listening to the Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, you know, I've been upset. She was calm, she was cool, she was collected.
She's been hearing this for how many days now?
Yeah, she's in the Judiciary Committee, and hearing this unravel, I would have just been losing it. Because, you know, Charlie Kirk and the Turning Point was on the list. That list, that targeted list, had 90-something people on it. Started with 12 people or less than 20,
Yeah.
and it ended up being 92 people. The target, how's that? It's like the tax dollars is like you're saying, is being used against the citizenry.
We already know that they sent trillions, not millions, not billions, trillions of dollars overseas for sex change operations for Guatemalans, condoms for all our
Fashion
enemies,
shows, okay? For what?
all our enemies.
I think that's what it was.
Just think about it. All the agencies that we are now finding out our tax dollars were used by to commit this kind of fraud is unthinkable. Fraud where, again, I repeat, we sent trillions of dollars away for what we should have used our taxpayers' dollars for within our country to fix our borders, to fix our immigration, to create programs for American citizens. How about getting rid of homeless here in America?
That would be a good start. But they
But
don't
now
do that.
we're finding out that the resources, while the funding was sent overseas, and anybody that doesn't know how this works, I'll tell you how it works and do whatever you want with that information. They send money overseas. Let's say they send $1 overseas. Well, 2% of that dollar, approximately, goes to who they're sending it for. The rest of that money gets pocketed by the people that actually send it. And that's how our government gets rich. That's why people that work for our government that's supposed to get $180,000 a year become billionaires and have mansions where they can block homelessness off from where their mansions are. And your mansions have homeless sitting on them, California. But not to say, Linda, how many expensive condo units we have here in Florida, where you drive up and it's like, why are the homeless near a $3 to $5 million condominium?
Or panhandling near there. You know, with their buckets on the street and what they're just panhandling the streets. I don't understand that. We need to handle it right here.
We need to handle it right here, and this is where the money should be going first. Then we'll take care of the rest of the world. Just like taking care starts at home. This list, this Operation Arctic Frost, is enough to have anyone's hair rise, even if it's over 30 inches. Make sure you keep up with these details. It's very important for you to know, because what we are doing on Queen for Courage side and all the organizations working with us is creating solutions for all these problems by fundraising, by utilizing the government funds, and we will be working with government officials so that we know our taxpayer dollars are going into programs that are working and available for the United States citizens.
You know, one thing that I have to say, just listen to the Judiciary Committee hearing, and that is, you know, they are opened up now. We can have access to that information now. A lot of these hearings that's going on up on the Hill, we get that access now, what we didn't before, so we can know what's going on. And that to me is more open. It's open. Exactly. You do your research and tracking of information, you can find out what you need to find out. Fact find it and see if it's true or conspiracy or just what. Makes all the difference.
But all these courts that are in court now, you can even watch them. If you can't, if you don't want to, we will show you bits and pieces just to make sure that you are aware of what's being done with our tax dollars, what's going on with our government, and what your tax dollars are paying for.
That's right. Money's being spent.
Yep. Follow the trail.
Follow the money path. So we just wanted some final notes out here for our viewing audience, and that is, know where the money trail is. Ask the questions. Probe for yourself. Do your facts. Look for facts when it comes to a particular subject matter. We were talking about Operation Arctic Frost, and we thought it was something to deal with the Arctic Ocean.
I thought it was about climate
Climate change.
Climate change again.
Exactly.
I'm like, when are they going to give it up? Well, if Charlie Kirk death wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't even know about it.
That's exactly
Because he was a target on that list.
He was, and his whole organization.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'll go, wow, Martin Luther King was targeted by the FBI.
Yeah.
So this is something that they do in every administration, but you got to dig deep to find out where the bones are buried.
Well, now, congratulations. It's all made for you to see. It's all out in the public. Do your research. Watch shows like us. Make sure that you talk to us. Communicate. Let's start the dialogue. Let's start dialogue, not weaponizing each other, not war. Dialogue, not war. So we look forward to hearing, and till the next time.
Until the next time. Bye.
Visit us on www.xpo20.com.
Awakens and opens the world in colors. Each ray is a hug, a promise, and life dances to the sound of the winds. Beautiful life, how beautiful you are. Woven into threads of hope and stars. Every day is a gift, every day is a gift. To paint with love and laughter.